Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Marlene Cuellar.
And I'm Gavin Courtney.
And thank you for joining us this morning on a lovely Tuesday morning.
I know, it's still nice, super cool, enjoying the weather.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, it's not as chilly as it was before Christmas. That's fine, we'll take it. It's still dry and it is the start of a beautiful day. And it means for you at home, parents, it's round two of waking up the kids and getting them ready for school. Best of luck with that.
Know. And for those of you who still have that extra week off, lucky you. Kids and adults, enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, it's back into the grind, and I think definitely we were saying yesterday that it makes it a little bit more difficult when it's cool in the morning to get the kids up sometimes and get them moving. But of course, it's just part of what they have to do. There are some kids who are super excited to go back, though.
Oh, yeah. I was not one of them.
All right, we got to check in with our weather, and we have Michael Gentle on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
All right, so tell us about our weather for today.
Okay, we still under the influence of high pressure, so maintaining a relatively cool northeasterly airflow. Continue a bit cloudy. We expect isolated showers and periods of light rain will occur mostly over the sea, but we can also get along southern coastal areas for today and tonight.
All right, and our winds?
Our winds will be from the north and northeast at 5 to 15 knots, and sea conditions will be choppy today, becoming moderate tonight.
Okay, so there's no small craft caution today?
Not for today. We probably need a caution for tomorrow.
Okay. All right, and what about our high temperatures?
Okay, we're expecting about 80 along the coast today, 82 inland and 72 in the hills, and for tonight, 72 along the coast, 64 over inland areas, and 60 at the high elevations.
And or extended forecast?
Okay, for tomorrow, Wednesday, we're expecting a bit more moisture to return over the area. With that, we can expect a few showers or periods of rain, mostly over central and southern areas during the daytime, but this is likely to increase tomorrow night.
Okay. All right, and that's going to be countrywide. We'd be expecting some increase in showers.
Yeah, but especially the central and the southern areas of the country.
Okay. All right, and that's just going to be on Wednesday?
Yeah, for Wednesday, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we've been warned. We'll enjoy the dry, cool day today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that update.
You're welcome.
You have a great day today.
Yeah, same to you.
Okay.
There you have it. So, looks like we are still going to have some fair conditions today. And we might have to use our raincoats tomorrow, though.
All right. And we're going to shift gears, of course, and get into a bit of motivation for this morning. And that means our eye opener. Our eye opener is taken from dailyom.com, and it goes like this. The holiday season may be over, but the special feelings and sparkle can live on throughout the year. For many people, the act of packing away the holiday decorations, opening the last gift, or parting with visited loved ones evokes feelings of sadness. The busyness associated with the holidays that distracted us from life subsides, and we're left wondering why life seems a bit empty. Yet, we need not give ourselves over entirely to the blues we feel when the celebrations end. And this post-holiday period of mellowness should not be viewed as a sign that your festivities were less than fulfilling. To feel a few pangs of gloom as the decorations come down and guests return to their homes is natural. Your physical and mental selves, which existed in a state of arousal as you immerse yourself in the magic of the holiday season, need time to adjust as you settle back into your usual routine. Rest assured that that which warmed your heart and fulfilled you in previous days will satisfy you again. Consider that all of the virtues that touch you deeply as you celebrate the holiday season, charity, togetherness, magic, beauty, etc., exist year-round. With a little effort, you can carry the celebratory spirit in your heart always. The post-holiday blues will soon pass, leaving you feeling as happy and buoyant as you did just weeks before.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
Never thought of post-holiday blues, have you?
No, yes, I mean, I've thought about it before. It doesn't really, I don't experience it that much because, like, as you know, I always say I want it to be Christmas all the time. So, I mean, whenever I'm in a festive mood, nothing tends to get in the way of that. But I know for sure that it is a thing for some people around the holiday season, especially as was mentioned in the eye-opener.
Yeah.
That it's a time where you tend to be around a lot of family, and then when it is over, then that isn't perhaps as intense, or and you know, people come in from abroad and they go back home, and you know, people start missing people, and then people start getting used to you know, missing, you know, all the food and music and everything that tends to happen all the time. So for sure I can see how that could be a thing. And I was, you know, taking away from the eye-opener that, you know, a lot of the motivational things that we discuss on the show always talk about, you know, keeping the mindset and keeping, you know, centered. And I think that's super important, regardless of, you know, what it is that you're trying to do. So when it comes through, when you do come through difficult times or whatever, you always have that to rely on.
Yeah, you know, I guess I never thought of it as post-holiday blues, but it's just like we spoke of this morning with children grudgingly going back to school, or sometimes if you've taken a break over Christmas and New Year's, you have to go back into the regular grind of things, and sometimes that's the discontent we may have. A bit of it has to do with all the energy that comes around Christmas as well.
Oh, yeah.
That just dissipates as soon as it passed. I was joking about how Christmas lights don't hold the same type of magic on the 26th as it did on the 24th. And what I think is interesting about the eye-opener is really changing the mindset, exactly like you said, and more so having that sense of gratitude, because the family that you love, that you spent great time with, they're still there. Maybe not physically if they've left. The kindness that you felt compelled to show to other people, you possess that quality because you did it in Christmas. And so it means that you do have to kind of shift the way you see things and realize that maybe checking in on someone, doing something nice, eating good food, those aren't exclusive to Christmas. You can have it year-round, but you have to commit yourself to do so and change your mind that it only has to be that time. So that's a pretty interesting one for this morning.
For sure.
Yeah? I'm sure you wouldn't mind getting into a festive season each month.
No, I mean, I try.
You can schedule it every 25th.
I mean, I try my best to do it in any event.
You can have Christmas anniversaries. 1 month after, 2 months after, who knows? Yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
So, of course, it's time for our morning tea.
Yeah, and our morning tea is a topic that has been super, you know, relevant nowadays. You know, we have a lot talking about the Me Too movement and things going on. So our topic for this morning is taking into consideration, you know, documentaries that have come out, like Surviving R. Kelly, and the aftermath that has come out of that. And, you know, we had the Michael Jackson documentary also come out last year. So the question for this morning is, can you separate art from the artist? You know, do you, if you are a fan of R. Kelly, do you still play his music? What are your thoughts on that? So that's what we are going to be talking about this morning. How do you feel about this topic, Marlene?
Okay, so confession.
Yes.
I've not seen Surviving R. Kelly. haven't gotten around to it. But I think a part of it too is just those are really hard stories to hear.
Yeah, I know.
And I think, you know, they're definitely powerful. People are really brave to come out and share their stories. And I've heard so much of the controversy in terms of whether or not you should or shouldn't still be listening to the music. It's a tough call.
Yes.
Because R. Kelly is perhaps more of a genre that there are sections of people that like it, but somebody like Michael Jackson, for example, it's universal. Everybody has a favorite Michael Jackson song. And I gotta say, you hear it sometimes and you do kind of have this guilt that you're showing support to someone who has done such terrible things.
Yeah.
Can you separate it? I think you can make a conscious effort to do it. And I think it takes a commitment to do it. It's like any campaign that you want to take up or any type of activism. It's not easy. You don't just naturally say, I won't use plastics, or and it just the behavior changes immediately. You got to commit to doing that every time. So every time the R. Kelly song comes on or the Michael Jackson song comes on, you have to remember, I don't support this person, even if I like the song, and change it.
Yeah.
So I think you can separate it if you are genuinely passionate about the cause, but it takes a lot of commitment.
Yeah, for sure. I think the same thing, but I mean, you know, and it's interesting because to be honest with you, R. Kelly was actually the first concert I ever went to.
Wow.
Yeah, like I actually went to an R. Kelly concert when I was a teenager, and I used to be a big fan. But
oh, so this is really important
yeah,
to you.
well, I mean, with him in particular, I don't think that at this point I can separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
And I, like you, I haven't watched the documentary simply because I feel like I just know that he was probably guilty of all that he's been accused of. And for me, watching a documentary like that, it's almost like, you know, for me, having known, like, I didn't need to be convinced.
Yeah.
So then it would just be sort of like watch, you know, the victims, and it would be really heavy. And I mean, like, so it wasn't going to really serve, you know, this sort of, you know, convincing or thing that because I was convinced. I didn't need to see, you know. With that, and then with that said, I mean, he, like many other people who are accused of that sort of thing, you know, drops hints of his own guilt. I mean, he used to call himself the Pied Piper of R&B, and the Pied Piper used to lead children away from their parents.
Valid point.
So I mean, whenever I hear a song from him, in particular, my mind is immediately brought nowadays to him as a person.
Yeah.
And for that reason, it makes the music less enjoyable. Yeah. Because when I think about when he's singing about women and something, you are thinking about who is he singing about, you know, and then you also have the thought in your mind that supporting or an artist, you know, is, you know, supporting his, you know, lifestyle and you know, continuing to do terrible things. Yeah. I think with that said, however, if you talk about artists on a whole, for me, it's a question, you know, of fact and degree. It's a legal term. So I mean, what factual do I believe? And in terms of degree, how bad were the acts or the things that the person is accused of or has done? You know, because we're now, you know, if we think about people like Bill Cosby, who everybody used to love, we're actually getting people convicted nowadays. So it's not even a question of allegations.
And I mean, there were so many people who couldn't separate. Bill Cosby is a great one. There's so many people who couldn't separate him from his most famous character. It was almost that character was who he was because that's all we saw. That's one of the things I consistently think of, especially when revelations like what happened with R. Kelly, what happened with Jackson, and many other well-known characters. We don't always know the people behind the music, the movie. You know, people won't know us entirely. We all have separate parts of our lives. And there's a trust that you build that hopefully, you know, nobody's perfect. Absolutely no human being is perfect. And they probably do something you don't like.
Yeah.
But at what degree? And I think that is part of what people struggle with. You've kind of already decided and boxed them in to what they are. And when you realize that your box was completely out of whack, it's hard for you to grapple with as well. And you know, when it comes to the type of assault that we're talking about here, that's the kind of devastation that you don't wish on anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that perhaps is what spurs a lot of the anger and the hatred towards it. So
Yeah, and I think a lot of people also relate. You know, a lot of people have been victims of assault, and when they see somebody who's credibly been accused or who has been convicted, put up on a, you know, who still put up on a pedestal, who still get to be, you know, successful. You know, it's like a reminder every day that perhaps, you know, other people are going through it, or that their own, you know, experience was, you know, it resonates with them in that way, so that, you know, it's very, and nowadays, especially that you know, victims of assault are coming forward, and we're actually seeing how, or I guess there's more faces then. We know that, you know, assault or whatever is bad, but now we're actually, people are coming forward, people are brave enough to do it.
Yeah.
And also tell their stories and how it's affected their whole lives. You can't just say that, oh, well, this happened 20 years ago and therefore we can ignore it, you know. That's not, because even if it happened 20 years ago to somebody else, they're still feeling the effects.
And it also has an effect on the loved ones. So I think that's one of the things we don't look at very often, how this type of assault and these types of crimes, they don't just affect the victim. It affects everyone who loves them as well, because they have to sit around with the helplessness because you can't undo what has been done. So yeah, this is an interesting one, and I think one of the things we've learned over the course of the years is that while we do talk about things like gender-based violence and the types of abuses against women and girls during 16 days of activism, it is a very relevant topic year-round, and so I'm sure that this latest season of the Surviving R. Kelly has probably sparked that debate once again. And I think it's a worthwhile one. It's interesting, though, because the Belizean context may just be a bit different. I know in the U.S., for example, you get endorsements pulled. The first time you have some kind of issue with your moral character, you lose money because people no longer want to support you. And that's how they would function. You know, if I download your song, stream your song, I know I'm contributing to what maybe your defense attorney to get you out of jail.
Yeah, that's true. And I know that a lot of people also think about it from the perspective that, well, you know, when people get endorsements pulled and whatever, I think that it also brings up I suppose the difference between, you know, people, like let's say there's allegations and you have the court of law and you have the court of public opinion. Which is controversial even for me, because you always wonder, where do you draw the line? Is it, you know, if somebody's just accused of something and they've, you know, there's nothing, is that enough to go, you know, to actually affect, you know, because in the very rare, I mean, I hate to bring it up but in this context, but I mean, you do have the very, very rare situations where the allegations prove to be false.
Yeah.
So you want to know, where can the public then draw the line in terms of their support? Yeah. But I think, again, just for me personally, it goes back to, you know, fact and degree. What do I? What's my assessment of the situation? Yeah,
that's a whole other conversation. Public opinion versus court opinion. And that one we'll save for another morning tea.
Sure.
But that's our thoughts on it. At least go ahead and share what you've been thinking and what you feel. Remember, these are just conversation starters for your day, and we love to get your feedback as well. So go ahead and chime in online on our Facebook or Instagram and let us know your thoughts. But we got to get moving into our show for today, Gavin.
Yeah, and it's going to be another good one.
Yeah.
So for our first topic, keeping on theme with our eye opener, we are going to be speaking with Dr. Dion Chamberlain, and she's going to be telling us all about how to stay motivated for the rest of 2020. We know that this time of year we're making our resolutions. It's the beginning of a new year. How do we maintain that positive energy, going forward?
All right, and keeping on the theme of preparing for the new year ahead and all the goals that you've set out for yourself, we're going to be talking about how to start up your own business. Some of the essential things that you need to work on if you have a business idea that you want to pursue.
Yep. And finally, we are going to be speaking with Madisco, and they are going to be taking us on a foodie tour, telling us all about their new...
I hear your
I know,
excitement.
right?
Food.
Right? Always talking about food and drinks, and I'm super excited, as you said, about that, as I always am about when there's food on the show.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take that break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how to stay motivated for 2020. But before we go, we got that birthday shout out.
I know. And from all of us here at Open Your Eyes on Channel 5, we want to wish a very happy birthday to Adam Ferguson.
All right, Adam, you have a great day today. I am sure your parents are going to make sure it's a good one. Do enjoy. We'll take that break now, and we'll be back in a few. Stay tuned.
With over 100 years of
And we are back and we're moving into our first conversation for this morning. And of course, we are getting you ready to stay motivated for 2020 on those goals that you set for yourself. And so joining us, we have two representatives of Chamberlain Consulting, no strangers to getting people motivated, especially professionally. And we have Dr. Dion Chamberlain, who is the Managing Director. And we have Trudy Joseph, who is the Coordinating Consultant. Good morning and welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So let me just start off with a bit of questions about you guys. So you have an agenda that you set out and you work with professionals to get them motivated to better themselves and to be more productive. What kind of goal setting process do you go through for a new year?
One of the things that we start off from about October, November, we actually do a weekly blog, has been going on for about 7 years. And what we send out to all of our clients is choose a word.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a resolution, but choose a word that you want to live by or for or with for the upcoming year. And that is how you set the direction of where you want to go. Mm-hmm. Many times we look at these resolutions as a one-off thing that we want. And then we wait for January to get it, by the way. Mm-hmm. So we want to lose weight, but we're going to eat up everything during December. And then we want to get it. The reality is that resolutions will always fail and will always fail very quickly during the year if you don't make it a New Year's decision. Mm-hmm. So we don't do New Year's resolutions, we do New Year's decisions, because nothing is more strong than a made-up mind of a human being. Yeah. Once you say, I am going to do this, you absolutely get it done. Yeah. But I'll let Trudy tell you what we do internally, and we started off working on ours yesterday, actually.
So we're working on our vision board, and again, we do it as a team. And what we prescribe to is whatever we suggest to our clients, we do internally. So we're not there trying to do like a menu. We read books and we say, okay, this is what is occurring. We test it, we try it, we see if it works. Even in our sessions, we let people know we're struggling in this area, or I need assistance here, and we let them know that we are real. So talking about the vision board is not just I want to lose weight. What is it, or how does it compare to what else you want to do? Maybe it's for you to be healthy for your children. You want your children to also lose weight. You want to focus on spirituality, but it's for you to build more relationships or more meaningful relationships. So it ties into other things. So it's not just about one item. It's about your personal goals, your financial goals, your relationship goals. Mm-hmm. How do you see this big picture? And the lovely thing about a vision board, it's supposed to look pretty, even if it's just with words. And so again, when you try to focus on one thing, it's not just this, it's the big picture, and then you can actually just zoom in.
What you will achieve out of it. Because losing weight, that's good. Losing 5 pounds is good, but what will you gain? Mm-hmm. You will gain when you get older, bones won't ache as much, you know, you won't have as much heart problems. Diabetes, which is, I mean, doctors nowadays are telling you that you are pre-diabetic. Yeah. And that you're pre-malignant for cancer, and you're all of this stuff. Everything that occurs in life, and to us, and around us, we have to start taking ownership and responsibility for. Mm-hmm. Many times we will say, I don't know how this happened to me. Mm-hmm. We all know how everything happened to us. Every relationship that failed, we know how it failed. Mm-hmm. Every time that we ran broke, we know how and why we ran broke. Everything. But the issue that we have is that we don't want the ownership and accountability at that granular level. Mm-hmm. So again, visioning, missions, resolutions, and decisions have to be, what do I want ultimately? Yeah. So it's your goal, your dream, but you visualize it. Once I have it, what will it look like? Yeah. And that is what goes on your vision board. So that when you start performing in your daily life and using that word that you're going to use, then you will get there. My word for this year is to serve. Mm-hmm. And serving is not only serving others, it's serving me. I need to take care of me, because I realize that many times we get so crazy in life that those are the simple things that we need to do. A lot of times we want these big resolutions, you know, mm-hmm. 50 pounds, $20,000. I mean, all of this stuff, when in reality, we just need to take bite-sized pieces of our dreams and work on that day to day. And that's how it gets sustained. The vision board is what we believe is your Bible that you refer to. I keep mine in the bathroom. Yeah. That's the only private time I have. And I pull it from behind the toilet, you know, from the back, and I look at it and I'm like, it says that I want to have it shows a picture. I have one. Mine actually has a picture of an older gentleman and a young and an old, well, not too old woman, but you know, and they look very romantic. And I envision that to be my husband and I. So if I am in a bad mood that morning and I walk out ready to say have a scream attack, I know that vision that I visualize on that board can't come to life.
Yeah.
So automatically I calm myself down. So when I walk out now, I have to get into the mode that will take me to arriving at that dream. So you need to have a reminder, a reinforcer, something that is a trigger for you all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it is. Find what your trigger is, whether it be a vision board or it be an item, whether it be something, but that is how you stay on course.
You know, it's interesting because I think that the idea of resolution sometimes get a bad rap. And yeah, if you're saying I want to lose 100 pounds in 2020 with no plan, and there's no reality grounded in your decision, that's clearly going to set you up for failure. But the idea of wanting to improve yourself, whether at the beginning of 2020 or mid-year or beginning of next month, is always a good thing. But effective change doesn't come easily. And one of the challenging parts is also being able to prioritize. Trudy, when you laid out all those focuses just now, I was like, whoa, where do you start? Because we all want to improve all aspects of our lives. Family, personal, professional, spirituality, your health. I mean, there's so many others. If you look at wanting to improve some kind of relationship with your children or your spouse or the wider community, how do you, what's your suggestion in terms of getting your priorities in order? So if I can only add an hour or two more to my day, or an hour realistically, to commit to a new goal, how do I know where to start?
Well, first of all, it's all about knowing the why. Why do I want to do this? Is it just to add 5 more friends, or is it for me to have meaningful relationships? Is it for me to distance myself from certain people that will not allow for me to meet my other goals? So in prioritizing, there's so many things that you can do together. It doesn't have to be, if I'm looking to build relationship with my family, that I always have to do it separate. I can actually have get-togethers where it's not about just us talking, but us having meaningful conversations. Getting a mediator in. So it doesn't have to be that you're going to work on individual stuff. We're working on this together. If it is that we're going to be saving money at our job, when it is that we go to work, everyone knows that we all want to eat healthy. So because we mostly bring our food from home, then it is that if Miss D smells something that is not something I'm supposed to be eating, then clearly she's going to come to me. But Trudy, you said that. And so you have your brother's keeper. That also keeps you in line. But people would sometimes say you don't share your dreams with everyone because they're actually people who are very negative. Again, your circle is very, very important. And so my word this year is positivity. And positivity not just for myself, but positivity for others, because there's so many naysayers out there. Why are you going to bother for you to try to lose weight? Everyone in our family is big-boned. So you need to have those positive people, mentors, like Miss Dion is my mentor, and she's mentored me for 6 years. 6 years, and we continue to work on our relationship. And then you have coaches, and coaches are specific as it relates to more of your professional life. And you can have many coaches, and you can have multiple mentors, because again, how can you get relationship advice from someone who is not in a relationship? How can they truly help you? So in prioritizing, like I said, you need to focus on the why. Why do I want to achieve this? By when do I want to achieve it? And so when it is that you have those hard times, then you will know, why do I need to continue to commit to this? It's not just for me to, like I said, say that I did it, but I'm going to achieve this in the longer run.
And I also wanted to talk about when people do set, big goals or resolutions or something, it's just natural that at some point we do stumble along the way. One of the most common ones, is, let's say it's about health, exercise. We're gonna go to the gym, and then for whatever reason you miss one day, then one day turns into 1 week, which turns into 1 month. How do we not sort of internalize, failures and get discouraged or, stray from our path, if as it were, and keep that mindset? So if we do miss a day, or if we do have a cheat meal, or if we have birthday cake or whatever it is, how do we stay on track?
Well, first thing is forgiveness. Many of us don't know how to forgive ourselves. Like, we don't know how to forgive anybody, others or whatever. Veering off the path is not the issue. is realizing that you have and going back on it, which is why, again, where Trudy mentioned that you have to have your brother's keeper and you share your dreams. I mean, if I don't know what you want, then I will bring that birthday cake and I will push it into your face 24/7, right? I will say, let's go to Lychee and go have some chicken. Yeah. I will invite you to the things that I enjoy. And it's not because I'm trying to sabotage you. And in your mind, you're like, oh, she tried to sabotage me.
Yeah.
The reality is that we think that people are thinking about us 24/7 and they're not. They don't even remember that we exist. And so when Marlene says, how do I put in the extra time? When you are focused on where you want to go, it doesn't take extra time. We don't talk about time management within our environment. We talk about self-management because you can't manage time. God gives all of us the same amount of time. You can manage yourself. So say, for instance, figuring out how to put in the time that you need to. I know that when Trudy mentions positivity, there are so many negative influences out there non-stop, coming at you.
Yeah.
Whether it's your friends, your family, you get that phone call from that person that tells you, I hope that unwinds you, unravels you, whatever. And I don't know if it happens to you, but sometimes I feel that whenever somebody gives me a call, it's because they want something. It's never because they call and say, can I give you something today?
For sure.
You know? And so sometimes I feel like my bucket is empty, like they've scraped it out and they took a sponge and scraped out the remaining balance. So what grounds me and brings me back is that I need to listen to something positive.
Yeah.
So I listen to a Les Brown or a Wayne Dyer. Now I don't have the time, like I see like my husband has the time that he'll sit in the office and he'll take time to do it for like half an hour. I put the headphones in while I'm cooking and I've learned to buy pajamas that have pockets because I don't change clothes to go cook in the morning.
Yeah.
So you put the pocket in, or terrible thing, put it in the bra, whatever you have one on. And that's how because you need to feed your soul, because let me tell you, you will be fed with everything else that's out there. However, when Trudy said begin with the end in mind, are you worth it? Are you valuable enough to achieve what you want to achieve? I mean, I could tell you, at one point when I was 367 pounds, I realized at that point I started to have children. And my son, at 2 years old, I took them to SeaWorld and I had to carry him around because he was sleeping. And by the end of the day, I looked down at my ankles and they were like blown up like this. And I started to cry in the parking lot and I said, I can't do this any longer. So the pull was greater than the push. I needed to do that for him, for my children, for my life to go on better, because I was on a slow, in fact, fast death direction. And so at that very moment, then I knew what I needed to get done, and I started to work. And let me tell you, it's a struggle every day of your life. It doesn't end. And that's what people have to realize. New Year's resolutions cannot be about January to whatever period. We can't get sexy in the gym for Easter only. You know, we won't get what we want. It's a continuous battle, and you will fail. But success is failure multiplied. And if you have not failed, you will never succeed. And so it's constantly trying and trying, re-engineering yourself, going the other way. But the vision board puts you back on track when you veered off. And then you say, you know what? I haven't been good. I've been bad this whole week, but God, the cakes was good and I enjoyed myself. But guess what? Get back on track. Get back on track, because it can't stay off forever. However, in Belize, for instance, I could remember when I was younger, I'd go back to the gym and my gym instructor would go, people like you that never lose weight because you never stick with it. And then guess what? I don't want to go back. I don't want to go to that environment. I don't want to hear you talk to me badly. And I
instead of just making use of the opportunity that you are there.
Sit you down and say, you know what? Not being here for a week wasn't good for you. But then you belittle me and expect that I'm going to be motivated to come back.
And it's a cause and effect. You miss, then you don't want to go back because you know what to expect. You know, it's interesting what you mentioned in terms of going beyond January, and I think that's kind of where I wanted to focus. Just looking at how do you sustain motivation. There's a new motivational speaker, I guess you could call her that, Mel Robbins. She says motivation is garbage. Literally, you're never always motivated because naturally, most people don't like being uncomfortable. And change comes with a lot of discomfort. Whether it's losing sleep, going to the gym, facing the pain, cutting down on what you used to spend because you want to get yourself in a better financial place, not fighting the way you used to fight with your spouse because you want to address your personal issues, not reacting to your kids immediately, and all the other bad habits that we always want to change at the start of a year. And so that's where I wanted to ask. So naturally, I mean, she's right. We can't stay, nobody is 24/7 up and ready to go and counter the world. How do you keep it going? Even when the moments fall, when you lose sight of that weight loss goal, or you lose sight of that financial goal or professional goal, how do you build yourself? Because you got to do it to yourself. How do you build yourself back up to keep on going?
If it's okay. Again, the why am I doing this has to be strong.
Yeah.
Why do I want to do this? And if you're not able to answer the positive whys, it doesn't make sense. If the only reason I'm losing weight is because I saw an ad and the ad says I'm supposed to do it, then that's not a good reason. Why do I want to do it? Why do I want to do it for me? Why do I want to do it for my children? Why do I want to get there? If you have a great why, and the why is very big, then you will remain focused. Even when it is that you fall short, you will come back on track. Because your why is very big and it's important to you. So when it is that you're saying, I would like to have my savings together because I'm interested in building a house. I'm building a house for my grandmother. Because she is more important to you than your own personal, whatever it is that you're doing at this moment, then it is that you will always come back to it. Again, you're not going to be able to do it on your own. And even for us, when it is that we're talking about motivation, we're talking about positivity, we're talking about serving, we are all human beings and we do fall short, but we come back together because what is it? We are making sure that we live by what it is that we say. So it's not just, like I said, textbook. It's about ensuring that you're living one person's life. We always talk about the fact that how can you be two people? How can Marlene be super nice here on the TV, and then when you see her off camera, don't talk to me, don't look at me? You can only be one person, unless maybe you're bipolar, and then there's medication for that and other stuff. But remaining focused. So it's not about being positive or being motivated every single day. It's about having the support. It's about understanding your why. And I also want to mention that, again, for us, when we talk about motivation for Monday, every single Monday, and it's not every day, every single Monday, you will get the blog, you read the blog, and then you see what part of it actually comes to you. And a lot of times we get messages that say, man, I don't know if you were in my house today, but I really needed this. But the inspiration comes from all around. And I can tell you there are some people that will not open the Motivation Monday. They will not go on YouTube and try to find something positive. They remain with the people that drain them. How can you then get to that motivated section if all you're doing is tearing away at yourself?
That point that Trudy made is very important. We call them energy vampires. And they suck you dry every day. And so forgiveness, letting go, and honestly, getting rid of some of your friends or whom you deem to be your friends and who your circle is. Sometimes you don't even need to purge your body. You need to purge your soul, your environment, everything around you. And that will help
because
you
it
stay on
infiltrates
track.
it infiltrates who you are, and I think that's a very key point. I want to go back because you keep on saying it over and over. And accountability, it's not so much personal accountability is clearly important.
Yes, of course.
But there's a lot that you can gain from having someone else aware of your cause, whatever it is that you want to achieve. What are your recommendations in how do you find the right person to be a part of that support system? Because some people have great intentions, but goodness, you don't want everybody watching every meal and being like, oh, you're having 2 slices instead of 1, and like a hawk.
Many times, Marlene, these people are already in your life. And sometimes we don't recognize the people around. In fact, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday where this person kept telling me that they don't feel like they're achieving, and they don't feel like they're doing, and they don't feel like they're doing. And I said, how many times have I not told you how proud I am of you? And the person said, I don't really want to hear it from you. I want to hear it from that person. And I'm like, why is it that we choose who we want
To validate.
to validate us? And the reality is that we have to learn to look within an environment and realize who is good for us, who is poisonous for us, and who is toxic for us, and the environments that are toxic for us as well. Because honestly, it's not only about being positive and letting go and all of that, but this negativity that surrounds many of us, it holds us down. I mean, it gets on top of you and it does not allow you to grow, to develop, to fly and become who you really need to be sometimes. And many of us get tied down to the status quo and wanting to be delivering from what people say or what people think or what people do. But the reality is that when we talk about accountability, all of it is right inside of you. You know whenever you're not doing something the way that you should. So you don't necessarily need anybody to tell you that you shouldn't be eating. Because I swear that while you're eating that thing, you're like, I know I shouldn't be doing this. You know, during Christmas, when I went into the kitchen and pulled up that thing and tried to look wrong that nobody's watching, I've jammed that cake in my mouth. Trust me, I knew what I was doing. The reality is that we are allowed. We have to be, as human beings, allowing ourselves to fail. When you make that resolution at the beginning of the year, you have to say that I am not perfect. Perfect does not exist, but I will do my very best. And we, as human beings, have to be respectful of somebody's best as well. Because your best and my best are two different bests. In fact, Trudy brought this to me yesterday. You know, he said, what were you saying?
Oh, my grandmother told me it was a great relationship story. The gentleman apparently had done every single thing he could do for his wife. And so he came to her and he said, I gave you my best. And the wife said, your best is insufficient. And so I told my grandmother, I could imagine the look on this guy's face, you know, because normally you're supposed to, you know, be a little sympathetic and say, okay, I'll continue to work with you. But again, it brought up a great point where it is you have to decide what your standards are. Not because it is that this is where you are now means you need to remain there. And again, that's a part of the personal motivation. Where do I want to go, but why? Why do I want a bigger house? Maybe you have 10 people in one house. I mean, clearly it's uncomfortable. So again, the why is bigger than just because I want my neighbors to see me with a bigger house. So when you're working on it, and again, here the accountability is you and your children, you, your spouse and your children, you, your sisters and your children. We're all working on this together. So when it is that someone is falling on the wayside, we know, come, because all of us will gain from doing this. So we also do we know we have our leader class in May. May is actually not the middle of the year, but it's a great time for you to be able to come back and again group with other like-minded people to be able to say, what was it that I decided I wanted to do as my vision for this year? Just to note that vision board is not just for a year. A vision board goes beyond. You can do 15 months, you can do 2 years, 5 years, 10 years on your vision board. And that's why again you begin with the end in mind. So like in May, we do our leader class, and we let everyone know that leadership is not a position, it's an action. And so we're all leaders in our own right. And so when you're doing your vision board, you do it as a team or you do it individually, you're the leader of your vision. You're the leader for you to be able to get there, because every single day, Victor can come to me and say, Trudy, you said that you're gonna cut out sugar, but every single day I can still cheat and I can put the sugar in. He's only there to help me, to guide me. Ultimately, you will make your own decision. But why? Why do you want to get there?
And I think what occurs to me as we've been speaking about, you know, keeping on the path and staying motivated, we also have to address just how difficult it is to just start. It is what your goal is. You know, how do we put on those tennis shoes to go to the gym, or, you know,
wake up with the alarm.
This year I'm gonna invest in the business. I'm gonna ask out this girl or this boy. You know, how to, you know, to actually build up the courage to actually begin is a huge thing. So do you have any tips for actually starting, you know, in terms of, you know, surrounding yourself with the right people or getting into the right mentality? Like, how do we actually start, you know, when we want to accomplish our goals?
It's interesting. We met with a young lady in a company, and she kept telling me that she wants a relationship, right? She wants a relationship. So, and she's tired of being single and whatever. And I said, so what do you do on weekends? Well, you know, me and my family, we hang out. We're very close-knit, all of us. We hang out together. I said, and what do you do on weekdays? Well, you know, we're very big, and so like we all come together to my mother's house. And I said, are you all into incest? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, you're not gonna find a relationship that way. You have to be very practical about your approach. You cannot expect that you're gonna find a relationship sitting in your house with all of your cousins The same thing, I could remember there was one period of my life where I used to hang out with we used to hang out with this one guy, and all girls, 10 of us used to go out and we would dance with him and have fun and enjoy ourselves. And I would go home and I tell my mom, I said, you know, I can't understand it, I can't find a relationship or whatever. She's like, which man would look at you all and want any of you? All of you all look happy. And if you tell the harem or whatever it is that you all are doing, you don't look available, you don't come off as available. We have to put ourselves in the position. Remember, it's about figuring out what you want, being what you want, and doing what it takes to get you there. The implementation is more important than anything. So you can't just, I want to do this, and you go, okay, it'll happen now because I put it on the vision board and the universe will attract me. This is not mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
This is real strategy, goal. Marlene mentioned it earlier. What steps will I take to get there? And remember, there are different ways to do it. And I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, my vision board was personally, my kids were really becoming overweight, and I really didn't want that because I knew that was part of where I came from, and I wanted them to do it. So I started off with the cooking differently at home.
Yeah.
But then I realized that they needed to go into a gym. The hardest thing, nobody wanted to go to a gym because when you don't want to go to a gym where everybody's seeing you. You don't want to go into those gyms that you have to be sexy to go to. You know, we have those, right? Yes. So I put them at a hotel gym that was small.
Yeah.
And then they were teenagers, and I found this beautiful trainer. I mean, sorry, but she's physically, I call her hot. Liani, for listening to me, I'm saying it. And I realized that she would motivate them. My son is 90 pounds lighter today.
Nice.
And he's motivated and driven to do it because I created the condition, the position, did all of the different parts. Because it's not about one thing. And so I had to motivate what he would have been motivated by. We have to make sure that we meet the different needs of the different parties that are there.
Yeah.
And I could tell you, don't go to people who are more messed up than you for advice. Like I said, I really need to lose weight or whatever. Like, really? You look skinny to me. And you look really good. So why are we so dishonest?
Yeah.
Why can't we just say, yes, you do. I see you popping out of that lately and you need to work on it. Or yes, you need to start saving money because you're wasting every day. I see what you're doing, and you're saying you want this future. You say you want this house, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You say you want to do well at work and you want a promotion or a raise, but guess what? You go to work every day late. You do this, you do that. We have to start being honest.
Yeah.
And honesty will help.
And I think one of what I hear from what you're saying, and it's a very important point to extract, is that it takes work.
Yeah, of course.
It's wanting it. It's having the right reason why we're doing it, and a reason that's compelling enough to keep us on path. But it takes work. And I find that, especially if we go along the lines of the weight loss one, I see it all the time. I'm going to eat rabbit food today, and then tomorrow it's like, well, I haven't been losing any weight, you know? It takes more than that if it's going to be consciously changing any other part of yourself. So what we're really looking at are SMART goals. We're looking at being able to strategize how I can be able to change whether characteristics that I don't like, or actually implementing behaviors that I didn't have before. So how do we go about setting this goal in a realistic way, especially if I am a no exercise, night owl, sleeping late, couch potato? You know, how do I even go there? Yeah.
You decided who you were.
Yeah.
Well, then you have to decide
Who you want to be.
who you really are, and who you are is that vision.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If you did, like, people come to me and they say, I'm a morning person, or I'm a night person, I'm a this kind of person. You decide the kind of person you are.
Yeah.
When we were born, I don't think there was ever a little tag that they put on our forehead that said night person, day person, whatever person. Look at the two of you right now. What motivates you all to wake up at 5 in the morning to come here?
Wish it were 5.
You know,
It would be easy. No, I like what I do, and that's the only way I can do it.
See, so it comes back to liking what you do and loving the destination that you will be arriving at, or are arriving at because of that. And that's why the words that motivation, I can't motivate anybody. You have to decide what will motivate you. And we are human beings, and if we were meant to be on a high all the time, then we'd just be dispense drugs every morning.
Of course.
The reality is that that is the flavor of life, the ups and the downs and the feelings and whatever. However, as human beings, and I don't know if you all feel this, but when I don't do what I said I was going to do, I get upset. But I get upset with the world. I don't really get upset with me. That's when I start lashing out and I start having attitude. Like, say for instance, I'm supposed to exercise and I don't. I start to get angry because if I don't achieve my personal victories, then my public victories aren't won, and then I start to decide that the rest of the world better suffer with me, right? And so that is why self-ownership, accountability has to be a part of this. And like I said, it's not a hoopla, rah, 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 hold hands and sing kumbaya situation. You have to make the decisions for the destination that you want to be at. Surround yourself with the circle who will support you getting there. Because we are not islands. We cannot survive alone, no matter how many of us will say that. I see people go to work and say, I will do good at my job because it's about me, and I will not talk to anybody here because I will sit in my corner and do my work. Have you met those kinds? Well, you're not going to do good at work because you know what? Work is about working with other people. And so we have to
you
shift.
don't have to love them.
Yes.
But you need to respect and work with them. I also wanted to mention that consistency is important. Whenever it is that even though life has its highs and lows, you need to be able to be consistent. Remain consistently good if that's what you want to do, or remain consistently bad. The up and down affects those that are also around you. So consistency is very important. Allowing yourself to be able to fail is important also, but don't let that be your word for the day. Oh, well, I'm human. Oh, well, I'm human. You still need to be able to determine what it is that you're going to do. And when you set your goals, reduce to ridiculous. If it is that you're trying to get $100,000, how much do you need for the year? How much do you need for the month? How much do you need for the week? How much do you need for the day? How will you achieve this on a daily basis? And that's where it is that you might determine, my goal doesn't make sense because it's way out of the ballpark. And even if it is that I win the lotto, I'm not going to be able to achieve this goal within this year. So then I need to change my goal. And it's not for you to set the bar low. No, it's for you to be realistic. So you set your goal high enough for you to be able to achieve, but enough for you to be able to achieve it. Because when you disappoint yourself, then it is that you will then have that ripple effect on those that are around you.
And you have, and I think what I hear is just being realistic.
Correct.
That's what it is. If you haven't been able to save a penny,
how do you then save $1,000 for the month?
It's not going to happen automatically.
Well, not a little business. I know your next segment's on entrepreneurship. One of the things that I found out in my work life, I wasn't making what I wanted to make, which is why I got into consultancy, because I realized that my day job, I can't complain about my day job for the rest of my life. It's not going to pay me anymore. I'm not going to be able to save anymore because I'm not making anymore. It's just like economics, If you can't make more, you have to cut down your expenses. So you got to figure out how you're going to do that. You can't just complain and motivate. You can't just walk around and say, I'm positive and it will happen, it will happen. And
I will speak it into existence.
Yes, I will speak it into existence. Yes, you echo what you want and the universe will give you what you put into it, not what you ask of it. So it's important that people don't go away with this, because I've had people come and tell me, God will provide and this will occur. God only helps those who help themselves is what the Bible says too, right? So this pretense that it will just naturally occur, in life is not necessarily only organic. It requires fertilizer if you want your plants to grow well. Requires many different aspects of it.
Too.
Yes. And you know what? It also requires knowing that it's time to burn the field and start over from scratch, because you know what I've been doing isn't working.
So let's leave people with some tips, like some practical tips. I know, and I've heard the stories before. Last Friday we did the concept of doing a personal SWOT analysis, and so I think that being able to give people tools will be helpful. They're watching. They hate something about their life, everything about their life sometimes. It could be frustrated with the job, frustrated with their health, frustrated with just everything that they're doing. How do you move out of that? What are some of the steps to be able to begin the process of having a happier life for 2020?
Okay, making it simple for 2020, what we would do typically, we would ask you to take out a little piece of paper, flashcard size or maybe a little note, and you put P, F, and R on it. Personal goals, write out 3 of them. We'd want for one to be a 1-month goal, one to be a 6-month goal, and one to be a year goal. One for financial, what do you want financially? And you put that down, same level, and a relationship goal. And relationships don't have to do with a loved one. It could be with a grandmother you're not speaking to, a mother or cousin, because let me tell you, we have a lot of contention in this country. And you write down the relationships, and the relationship will be with God, with your family, with your friends, whatever, the 3 relationship goals. And then below that, you write possible actions that will get you to that point. So you have that there. The minute you're done, fold it up, put it inside your wallet, or like me, I put it inside the back of my cell phone, because that's one thing I'll be looking at a lot. And you take that out, just like that's your mini vision board, if you want to call it that. And I'll tell you, the minute you commit it to paper, you will have cast it out into the universe and say that's what you want. And then you look at it, and like I'm telling you, it's going to be your little reminder. Ooh, I haven't been good at doing that.
Yeah.
I better reel back in. Or, wow, I've been doing that really good. And if you've been doing really great, move your 6-month goal up to your 2-month goal and move it up. Because my son told me something amazing this Christmas. He said, Mom, I don't have a problem with people regressing. I love when people go forward. The only thing in life is I don't like stagnation. When a person goes stagnant. So if you regress in your personal goal, that's fine. That means you've shifted, you've changed, you're not dead. And if you move forward, you've done great. But if you've stagnated and you've only been at that one spot, done nothing, not motivated yourself not driven yourself anywhere, backward, forward, whatever it is, then you got to stop being stagnant, because if you're not green, you don't grow. And if you start dying, you will start decaying. And so at some point in time, you have to realize, am I decaying mentally? Have I become so stagnant in my life, in my pursuits, in my goals, in everything? I mean, Trudy started doing her master's yesterday. I'm excited for her because I can see that there's not a stagnation. You know, she's growing. You cannot stay where you are, even if you go backward. Go backward if you have to.
Go
so
backward
that you
and
can
be
go
a
forward.
slingshot.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Because you know what? When you pull back that bow, it can propel as far as you need to be. However, you create your ceiling. Your ceiling is your resolution, your decision, your visualization of where you want to be. And ceilings don't need to exist, by the way. I love it. You all don't have a ceiling here. Isn't that wonderful? Because that means that the sky is the limit, right? As far as you want to go. Remember, greatness is not measured from your toe to the top of your head. It's measured way above that. Reach for your greatness. Figure out what you want, visualize it, contemplate it, strategize, goal making, and get it done.
And that's a perfect point to close off on. Thank you so much for coming in and having this conversation with us. We hope our viewers at home feel extra motivated to just do one thing differently. Whether it's starting off with writing down the goals or committing to something you know you've always wanted to do. Go ahead and do it. It doesn't have to be for 2020. You just have to get started, right? We're going to go ahead now and take a break. If your goal is to open a new business, we have some tips, some startup essentials. So please stay tuned.
With over 100
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Joining us now is Ms. Lorraine Herrera, who is a business advisor from the Small Business Development Center, Belize, which is a unit of Beltrade. Good morning.
Good
Lorraine.
morning, thank you.
And we are going to be having a conversation about startup essentials for those of you who are interested in opening a new business. Lorraine's going to be talking to us all about what are the essential tips for doing that.
Yeah. We gave you the right start, right? We
Right.
talked about goal setting and motivation, and now we're giving them the tools.
Yes.
So a lot of people, it's the start of a new year. A lot of people are making their resolutions. One of the most common ones is starting a new business. What do you think is the first step then, or the most important step when somebody is beginning, or somebody has this resolution in mind, somebody wants to do this? Where does one begin?
Well, thank you guys for having us this morning again. The first step in starting a business is your business idea. That's the first milestone, having that business idea. Okay, so you woke up this morning and said, you know what, I think I need to do something else. So I have a business idea. So the first step is doing your research.
Yeah.
Doing your research, that's the first step. And then from there, you want to clearly establish what needs are going to be satisfied with your customers. Okay, so this business, how is it going to benefit the public outside?
Yeah.
And then from there, you want to demonstrate how you're going to generate revenue for your business.
Sure. And, but also thinking of that idea, it's also sort of multifaceted, right? Because you think or what sort of product or service do I want? How do I differentiate, myself from other things that are in the same market? And of course, people have a lot of good ideas, but it's making it sort of the practical approach then to actually putting it into motion. What are some of the more, let's say, practical ways that people, or considerations that maybe some people should think about?
Well, you have to always take into consideration, again, who is your target market?
Yeah.
That's very, very important. Who you're going to be selling this product or service to. And that's why it's always important, and we always go back to saying that doing your research.
Yeah.
It's not just about having that idea, because one of the things that makes, unfortunately, a lot of small businesses fail is that some people just jump into that idea, not knowing who they're targeting, because they did not do that research on that product or service that they're going to be offering.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
No, I think this is key, because when you think of, I could have many ideas. Maybe I saw it somewhere where I was traveling, I think Belize needs it, but then I started up and I realized, well, nobody wants to pay for that. Nobody wants to pay even just the cost of what it is to do this. What are some practical tips as to how to do that type of market research? Because if I start with my family, they'll tell me, go for it, you know?
Right. Your family and friends are always going to tell you, oh yeah, that's a fantastic idea. But some research you can do, Facebook allows you now to do polls, surveys that you can do, going around asking people what they think about this idea. Do you think it's going to work? So getting that feedback from the general public about your idea. Surveys are very practical, and those Facebook polls as well. People do those.
Okay. And what somebody does, let's say somebody does have a good idea, they've done their research and they think, all right, this can be a successful product or service that I can offer. The idea is good, but the implementation may not be that good in terms of logistics. Maybe people haven't figured out what's the best way to price it, what's the best way to market it,
the best location,
what's the best, all of these sort of things. How do people find out the best way to actually run a business in a way that's successful?
Well, we're hoping that coming on these shows and so forth, we promote the Small Business Development Center,
Yeah.
which we have business advisors readily available to assist someone that wants to open their small business with helping them with these logistics, moving them forward.
Yeah.
It's always important that, like we say, do a plan. So going forward, you either work on your business model or your business plan.
Yeah.
You have to know about your financing. Some people might already have that money to invest in a small business or in their business, but suppose you don't, but you have that opportunity to go for funding from a financial institution. It's very important that you have a business plan, and those are services that we offer at the Small Business Development Center, assisting you working on your business model, your business plan, going through a SWOT analysis with you, working on a marketing plan for you.
Yeah.
So these are the steps that we do. Walking you through the formalization process, which is very important.
Formalization. What do you mean?
Formalization would mean picking and registering that business name.
Yeah.
So first step is picking and registering that business name.
Yeah.
Another part of formalization is registering for your trade license.
Okay.
Getting necessary permits and licenses that is needed. Say you're going into the restaurant business, food business, we all know that you need a food handler's license.
Yeah.
But some people might not know that. Some people casually might just be doing,
Oh, you mean like if they just do little sales here or there on the side?
but it's very important.
Yeah, you're still supposed to have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Your peddler's license that you would get from the town or city councils.
Yeah.
So those are things that we walk you through. The taxes, the business tax and GST, that's very
Okay.
important.
Yeah.
And you may say that, but I'm a small business.
I was
and-
going to say, people are thinking the first thing you want me to do is think of how to give the money to
I'm
someone
a
else.
small business, and I can't afford to pay taxes. But we always we advise our clients that we're not tax officers, but we advise our clients to. It's very important to go and sit with the tax department and find out if you qualify for paying taxes. We try not to encourage them to run from it.
Yeah.
Because you start off small,
Yeah.
but we are hoping that it's because you want to grow.
Yeah.
You have this product, but you don't want it to just stay in your home or just stay within you too. You're hoping that one day you're going to get this product on shelves, or you're going to be sending it out of the country. So starting to think small but thinking big along the way,
Yeah.
you have to know, because getting the product on the shelves, eventually you're going to
It's
find
less
out.
catch up for later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's better getting prepared now.
I wanted to go back to the issue of registering your company. There's also copyright in terms of ideas or new products that you may come up with, and I find that a lot of people don't necessarily protect those ideas. Do you help guide people through that process?
Yes, that's one of the important things that we do.
Yeah.
We
So give
work-
us some examples of what can be copyrighted that people don't often think of.
Well, copyright is more like with the music and so forth, but with the trademark.
The trademark, thank
So
you.
trademark is very important. That's with your logos and very important with your logo.
Yeah.
And well, your business name
Yeah.
is registered differently.
If I have a
That's
tagline, maybe?
Or a tagline.
And you can trademark your business name too.
And you can
sometimes.
trademark your business name as well. So
Yeah.
those are very important. Registering the business name, it's a little easier, quicker
Yeah.
than the trademark. That takes a little longer to
Yeah.
do in time span, but we do encourage our clients or anybody that walks into our center to take those steps,
Yeah.
registering your business name. People may not see it important in registering that business name,
Yeah.
but we stress the importance of
Until someone copies
registering.
it.
Until someone copies it, or you may be using a name and not even know that you're using that name that already belongs to someone else.
Yeah.
So it's important to register, go to the company's registry, and find that information. Do that
Yeah.
research as well.
Yeah.
Is there a particular, let's say, mistake or thing that people are unaware of when they do come to consult with, SBDC, that maybe an everyday thing that people miss, or are there common ones that you find?
Some of the common ones are, yes, just using your business name, not protecting it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, people didn't
We
think
haven't learned this Mary Sharp lesson yet all these years later.
Surprisingly, people don't think it's that important. But we've noticed that people are coming in saying that, we need to register this name. We need to take this business to the next level, and to take it to the next level, we need to have these in place, which is important. Another thing that people would come in as well is that business owners are still not they do not understand the importance of keeping their finances together, records together. So one of the important things that we try to offer at the SBDC is workshops on accounting, and we have like 4 series of accounting, with small fees, but we're hoping that coming out from taking those series, you have a better idea on how to keep your books, record keeping.
I mean, if I'm a designer, probably I'm more artistically inclined and never did a math course or an accounting course. And I think it's perhaps until I start generating revenue that I realize I do need these skills after all.
Yeah.
And so you said that you do have some of the courses that business owners would need, whether they had the know-how or didn't, they can enroll in some of these courses.
Yeah, because there's introduction.
Yeah.
So it goes in series. And then we also offer QuickBooks that you as a small business owner can do on your own.
Yeah.
So there are simple things that you can do. And like I said, we encourage business owners to take these accounting series workshops.
Yeah.
And they see the need, and they see how it benefits them at the end when they're finished.
So, since you mentioned QuickBooks, do you also, in your work with people who want to open or run their small businesses, do you also link them with other sort of resources that they can use to, make their business run more smoothly, more efficiently? Do you point them to those, and if so, what kinds of external resources do you find benefit people?
When you say external resources,
I mean, like as in
Grants or startup capital, like that?
Maybe that, or places where they can go for certain specific places or sources of information where they can find like specific stuff for running, whatever the particular needs are for their business.
Oh yeah, we work closely with other business support organizations.
Yeah.
And so we have that relationship with the company's registry, the Belize Tax Department.
Okay.
We have that relationship with Women's Department. So we have a relationship with the financial institutions as well. So we work with them closely to know, especially for funding purposes.
Yeah.
The Small Business Development Center is not a financial institution,
Yeah.
but we do guide and support our clients if they want to go in to a financial institution for funding as well. So we know what these criteria or requirements will be, so we can guide them.
Yeah.
And if not, we send them setting them with appointments and so forth.
Okay.
So you have some tips, and I thought they were really interesting in terms of what people should keep in mind when they are embarking on, or if they want to formalize a business they've already started, right?
So moving forward, some tips is that we encourage you again, get your business plan, your business model together.
Yeah.
And we can work with you on that. Make realistic, have realistic expectations.
That's what I thought was interesting. Have realistic expectations. Yeah.
Because unfortunately, why some small businesses may fail is because they don't have they have all these big expectations, and it's not the lifestyle or
Yeah.
the way forward with their business. So
Yeah.
make realistic expectations.
Okay.
Register again that business name.
Yeah.
We also encourage you to keep up with the market. Keep up with your customers.
Yeah,
and
stay
your-
in touch with current market trends and what your competition is doing.
Very important.
Yeah.
We have to stay in tune with what the competition. Some people say, "Oh, I don't care about what my competition
Yeah.
is doing because I have a better this is," and that's okay. That you very confident that your product or service is 100% par, but still keep that little
Yeah.
eye on the competition and what your competition is doing, because it's very important.
Okay.
And as always, maintain exceptional customer service. No matter how good you think you are. Some people, when they feel like I have this market covered, and then it starts to drop. No, you have to maintain that exceptional customer service.
And you can also, through the customer service, you can also expand,
Exactly.
It could be as simple as, well, can I have, if somebody's working with me, can somebody speak Spanish so that I can improve my
Nice.
customer,
Yeah.
Exactly.
increase my customer base.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the other things as well is that build your knowledge. So take advantage of the trainings that we offer,
Yeah.
the business trainings that we offer. We have many trainings that can assist small business people. One coming up on Thursday that
Yeah.
we are planning to do on goal setting.
Oh,
So on Thursday, we encourage you to sign up for that workshop.
so if you have that idea, this is the perfect opportunity. You go, you sign up for the goal setting, and you can help people to define how they're going to get there.
And we actually have another workshop happening. I think it's close around to the end of the month.
Yeah.
That we're actually going to talk about startup essentials and entrepreneurship. So, and that one is free, guys. So
Yeah.
contact us.
So it'll be
about
more
your-
detailed than this one, but we just
Yeah.
wanted to kind of give people a taste of what it will entail to move towards that business idea.
Yes.
Now, just one final question from me. A lot of people sometimes sit at home with like the long-term dream. Eventually, I'll start up a business, or I have this idea that I think is going to be great. What's some of your suggestions to them to really explore it deeper? Maybe it's a terrible idea. Maybe it won't work in Belize. That's one of the possibilities. But maybe it's something that would really take off. How do you suggest to someone to really move beyond just thinking about it to exploring possibilities?
That's honestly going to start with you as a person.
Yeah.
But we encourage you that if you have that idea, come into the center and talk to us
Yeah.
about it. You have that idea, but it's like right here, or it's
Yeah.
right here, and you're afraid.
Yeah.
So, but we encourage you to come in. Tell us about that idea.
Yeah.
Start writing down stuff about that idea and how you're going to move forward with that idea. And again, it all starts with creating. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to sit with you and we're going to work with you on a business model.
Yeah.
And start finding out, who is your customers, your customer relations, how you're going to generate that revenue, and things like that. So, it all starts about getting that idea and putting it down on pen and paper.
All right. Now, how do you sign up for some of the trainings that you spoke about? You said the one on Startup Essentials is free.
Yes.
The goal setting this
is-
Thursday?
Yes, that's Thursday. That's an all-day training, so it has a small fee of $60. But we
Okay.
encourage you to call our office at 223-3195, or visit us. Or we actually have a new location now, so we're on the 3rd floor of the Full Tech Business on Coney Drive.
Okay.
So you can visit our office to sign up for that training as well.
All right. And you guys are very active on Facebook, so people
Yes,
can
and
always
you can
get...
always visit our Facebook page, SBDC Belize.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and telling us all about the Startup Essentials that we do have to keep in mind if we are moving into creating our own business.
Thank you for having us.
All right. We are going to go ahead and take a break. And Gavin, what's coming up next?
We've got a food tour with Madisco, who are going to be talking about some new drinks.
All right.
So it's going to be super exciting, so please stay tuned.
Yeah.
up for Smart's broadband got
You tried it, the Bowen one?
And we are back on Open Your Eyes. Joining us now to discuss some really interesting drinks are representatives from Madisco Belize. And with us this morning is Delvin Jacobs, who is a Senior Sales Supervisor, Maria Gonzalez, who is a Beverage Supervisor, and Jaimala Vasquez, who is the Beverage and Hospitality Consultant, all from Madisco. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
And thank you for bringing all of these treats.
Well, I guess you need it, right?
Yeah.
You need water and you need wine to make your life divine. How about that?
Oh, nice. And you have made Gavin completely come alive right now.
Yeah.
It works better
That's
than
the
coffee.
idea. That's the idea. That's the way to start a Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
You know?
Or any morning. And so today, what we are going to do is take a look at some of the new products, because you have a wide array of products that are available at Madisco already, right?
That's right.
So tell us about what already exists before we talk about the new lineup.
For Madisco, we are a hospitality beverage retail.
Yeah.
So we do a wide distribution. Right? For me, I deal with the retail lines, which one of them is the Lasco. We have the High Top, Best Choice, Drummond, just to name Global,
Yeah.
and then the new addition is the Oasis.
Ooh.
So just to name a few.
Yeah.
For the past year, we have been extending our retail lines and the company in general overall. The new addition to our retail line is the flavored water, which is from Jamaica.
And you said Lasco first. I was thinking like, flavored milk. And I looked down and I realized that the water is actually a Lasco brand.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So tell us about it. This is new to the market, right?
Yes. It's currently about 2 months in the market. It's already countrywide. The flavored water come in 2 flavors.
Okay.
The cranberry, strawberry.
Okay.
It's not only a flavored water, but it also have vitamins. Right?
So
You
it's
have
good for you too.
Yes. You got the B6 and the B12 vitamins,
Okay.
which are very essential for blood and brain development. The main reason why we brought in the Lasco flavored water is to cater for the schools, to stop the children from drinking those sugary drinks.
Yeah.
Drink something more healthy.
So even though it's flavored, it's not, sugared like another, like a fruit juice, that could be bottled.
No, our flavored water have less than 3% sugar
Okay.
and less than 1% flavor.
All right.
Maybe
So
we should try.
it tastes good, but it's mostly water
Yes.
and vitamins.
Yes.
Okay. And how's it been doing so far since it's been introduced?
The community have accepted it well.
Yeah.
So this is our second time we have second shipment
Yeah.
from the previous. So it's been going well. We hope to amp up sales.
Yeah.
And then
And tell me about which seems to be the preferred flavor. So we have cranberry, which is the redder one, and the pink one is strawberry.
strawberry.
Yeah. Which one does better?
For meals, what I've saw that the males go more for the cranberry.
I think the guys in general just try to keep things a little bit simpler.
Or they don't want to have a pink drink.
Or not.
They like one with more color.
The females go for the
Cran strawberry. See,
Maybe they should try it. How about that?
Yeah.
Let them try it.
I
and
am
then
good
get-
with having water.
Would you like the pink one or would you like?
I'll bring.
I'll break tradition. I'll go red, you go pink. Good job.
Hey, real men wear pink, you know.
And aren't scared of the color
They're
of the
not
drink.
scared of the color pink, yeah. And you probably will need it
Right?
to hydrate.
Hydrate.
So I have to be really critical because I do like flavored water, but I don't like it very sweet.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not going to have
Yeah.
juice and I'm going for water, it can't be sweet.
Right.
You gonna be honest?
So
No,
let
this
you
is good.
tell
I had
me.
some already.
Oh, it's-
Yes, it's actually available in a lot of the supermarkets
yes,
right
it's
now.
available countrywide already.
Yeah.
All right.
This is great.
Yeah.
I won't drink this even though it's pink.
Right? And you can always mask it as tonic.
Yeah.
And that is cranberry juice.
See,
You know,
there
You
go.
cannot
It's like, yeah.
drink
You don't
and
have to
put
drink.
that with ice, and you can say you're having a gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although you
People-
wouldn't do that, but
Hey, that
I
gin and
would.
tonic would probably like,
and I can
Fool
pretend I'm
anybody with that
having
pink.
a cranberry vodka with this one.
Yeah.
It's not sweet. I gotta say that because I said I was gonna be honest about it. You do get the flavor of the cranberry juice, like what it would be, but it's not sweet, and I do appreciate that.
yeah.
This is mildly sweet, but I mean it's more of the fruit flavors what you're getting
Yeah,
rather
it's
than
more
sugar.
flavor
Yeah.
than sugar that you realize you're
Yeah.
tasting.
There's
Okay.
a very large difference when you're tasting something and all you taste is sugar.
Yep, for
Yeah.
sure.
It makes you more thirsty actually.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we really
Yeah.
got to work on trying to get people to drink more water. And if the introduction is through flavored water, because can you believe there are people who say they don't drink water or they don't like the taste of it?
No, I know several. There's some of them will put a little bit of orange squash in it, or even the little drops that you get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Enhancers.
Flavors.
Yeah.
Flavor enhancers, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
but
what
what
about
is
the
good?
price point though? How affordable is it?
It's very affordable. In the supermarkets, it's retail for $150 per bottle.
Okay.
Okay.
That's after their markup, whatever they mark up, it's $150.
Okay.
At Madisco, we sell it for, if you buy directly from us, it's like $1.14 per
Okay.
unit.
So like if
Yeah.
schools want to get it into their sales, they can come to you directly for
Yes.
a better price.
Yes, we are working on a better price for just for schools.
Yeah.
So the price can be less for the students, because I know everybody have that budget
Yeah.
for
That's
150. So we are lowering the price for schools.
Oh, that's good to know. All right. So only 2 flavors that you've brought in so far.
Only 2 flavors for now. Lasco they just brought out a new flavor, which is the cran grape. Hopefully we can get it in the market soon. Hopefully available for export. Once it's available for export, we'll be getting it.
Okay. Good. Flavored water, and it's called iCool, cran strawberry and cranberry.
Yep.
So that's for when you have that urge for a juice, you can go with this instead.
That's right.
And know
That's
that you're
right.
getting much less sugar.
You know, us
Yeah.
at the beverage division like to experiment, and the first thing we try to see as, you know, as grown-ups, was to see was the cranberry and vodka go together. I'm like, we were happy to see that it's good. And
Yeah.
all we were thinking was like, oh my God, this means less sugar, means less of a headache when no hangover, or less of a hangover.
And less calories too,
And
instead
less
of having
calories.
a full juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually goes well also with your spirits. Instead of using water, you use the flavored water, so it enhances your drink a little bit.
That's true.
Because you have people who drink rum and water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And this rum and this, it's like fantastic.
Yeah. So you can have that with your vodka, and you can have that with your gin if you want a little flavor.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
I'm
just
already sold.
you can actually dilute
doing the
your
general
tonic
use.
with this, so you're
Yeah.
taking less sugars.
Yeah, because tonic
Yeah.
has a lot of sugar.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
people
yeah,
don't
but
know.
it's so nice. You know, everybody says whatever is very nice and you like, it's not
Probably
very
not
Not
good for
healthy
you.
for you.
That's right.
Well, in
That's
this
right.
case, you can start to
Yeah.
make subtle changes. All right, so we talked about the iCool water, flavored water, available at Madisco. You have some stores where people can get it at already, right?
Yes, that's G&W, Bodega, most of the big stores, 88, that's in Belize City, and then we have in like Ladyville, which is Sky, Lowe's, U-Mall, J-Mall in Hattieville, and then other part of the districts.
Yeah.
In Corozal, Orange Rock is 123 supermarket, One Mall, the mall in Belmopan.
So you can find it
So,
pretty much
Everywhere.
everywhere,
Everywhere.
the bigger stores, of
Yes.
course. All right, and I see some other liquids
I couldn't wait.
in the middle, and I'm only just preempting Gavin because he wanted to jump right over.
You see, I'm poised here.
I see. So these are new spirits?
Okay, this is a new line that
Okay.
we got from Chile. Most of your reasonably priced wines come from Chile. And this comes from the Aresti winery, and the brand is Espíritu de Chile, which means living spirit. Right? What we have in the Espíritu line is their Reserva lines, very reasonably priced. We have a Merlot, we have a white blend, we have a Cabernet Sauvignon, and we have what we brought today is a varietal that people have heard of, but don't necessarily have the courage to try, because you don't want to invest in a bottle because you don't know the varietal.
Yeah.
And it's a Carmenere. You either call it Carmenere or you call it Carmenere. And Carmenere is actually Chile's wine.
Okay.
It is their grape.
Okay.
It's like, you know,
it's
Malbec belongs to Argentina.
Yes.
Pinot Grigio belongs to Italy.
yeah.
Sangiovese belongs to Spain. So it's the same thing with Carmenere. Apparently, Carmenere, like everybody knows, France is the mother of all wines. This was brought in, this is actually Spanish-based, and the Romans brought it to Italy, mixed it along with their Sangiovese in Tuscany, and then through their trades, they brought it on. Remember, Chile has Italian settlers, French settlers, all European settlers, and they brought the grafts into Chile and they started to grow it. They thought all the while that they brought in like Merlots and Cabernet
Like a European
and
grapes, yeah.
Cabernet Francs, and they didn't think about Carmenere. But when they started to grow their Merlots, they said, you know, this Merlot tastes kind of different, you know, to the ones with the rest of the old world. What is it? So when they did studies, because, you know, they do DNA studies with wines too, they found out that what they used to call Merlot was actually their Carmenere.
Oh.
And it grew abundantly in Chile, because Chile has the perfect weather for Carmenere.
Yeah.
So this is now their grape, and they have done a fabulous job with the Carmenere, and you can taste it for yourself.
I just love your passion for wines. I feel like I went down, I'm like zoomed in.
You know, I'm a nerd when it comes to grapes, and I'm
that's
trying to
great, 'cause it helps us to learn and understand so much. And we always talk about the fact that people feel intimidated by understanding wines, and you break it down for us.
Wine is not rocket science.
Nope.
No. It's just like, look, when I didn't even know how to cook. I actually burnt an egg. You know, and then you realize, hey, you gotta put some more water. You need to kind of put some more water and remember that you have it on the stove. You know, and it's the same thing. It's just, and the thing is nowadays, it's not to know a lot about the wines, just trust your palate.
Yeah.
Your palate will tell you whether you like it or not. And when you like something, you want to find out more about it, you know, and that's where we want it to come from.
So in terms of taste, you keep on saying that it was mistaken as a Merlot. So that's the taste that we're expecting? Similar to?
Like
Similar, but yet not so similar.
Okay.
Because the Carmenere, if you notice, the Carmenere gets its name from the crimson. It's crimson.
Oh, yeah.
And the difference between a Merlot and a Carmenere is the Merlot is gentler, and your Carmenere is spicier. It has the spicy zing.
South American, right?
It's South American. And when you taste it, you can actually, when you smell it, you can actually smell like green peppers and maybe cloves. It's very sharp. It's a very sharp tasting wine. It's drier than a Merlot. You want to try it? I mean, you're allowed.
You can go ahead. She made me do it.
Well, and remember, with this glass, you can actually see the legs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have the legs, so
Yeah.
you're swirling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you smell it.
Yeah.
So you smell it. And when you smell it, it's this,
It's very fragrant.
right,
First of
it's
all.
very
So-
fragrant, but it has also a very sharp
Yeah.
taste,
I get that.
a very sharp smell.
Yeah.
And then what you do now is sip it, and then you swallow it, but gently.
Why are you watching me when you say that?
And then you take a
Don't
second
gulp,
sip.
Marlene.
Don't quaff. Let's do it. So it's a drier
I do
wine.
get pepper.
You do get
Yeah,
pepper,
I
right?
do.
So there is this pepper in it.
Yeah.
And there is this really fragrant. You think that it was a sweet wine you're drinking, but it's not.
No, it's
Exactly.
not. It's
And
not. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not a Merlot.
No.
It is absolutely not a Merlot.
Yeah.
So I don't
It
know
is very
how
unique.
they even.
Yeah,
Well, someone just told them. Remember, people are intimidated by wines. They say this is a Merlot.
This is well, I could put it in the bottle and tell you it's a Merlot, but your palate will.
But it
tell
has
you.
a very distinct taste. It's
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy wine to like, but it's something that if you are if you are a whiskey drinker,
yeah.
Yeah.
if you are even a Cabernet drinker,
Yeah.
you'll go more towards your
Yeah, I know.
Cabernet.
Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who prefer, your Cabernets and these sort of really full-bodied wines. This is reminiscent of that, but it also has,
Just a little
that
lighter.
it's different in that it's a bit drier, and you do get those different notes. Like I said,
Yeah.
the pepper for sure. And it's interesting that you said whiskey because now that you say it, it reminds me of a similar sort of
That is
smoke.
right.
Well, I don't know,
Sweet
smoky.
smell,
It's
bitter
not the word I want to
It's
use.
that very smoky smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're correct. It's very smoky. It's almost mystical. It is
Something
isn't
that fools with your senses. That's going to intrigue people enough.
it does. It does,
And I
and
think-
it goes really well for
I was going to say, what about pairings? What,
Yeah,
what are
that
some good
was
pairings for
that
this?
was going to
your
be my next
pairings.
thing.
Your sharp cheeses go really well with
Yeah.
your sharp cheddars,
Yeah.
and also your. We have a smoked Gouda. That we have there, and it goes so well with it, and even with your meats.
So
Yeah.
they're
See?
bringing
With your
that
barbecue.
one now? Yeah, the smoked Gouda, right?
Yeah, we should have, right? And we go like, we got 20 minutes. How do we do this?
Yeah.
No. We need them to drink the wine.
No, but you have quite you have cheeses available. Smoked Gouda included, one of my favorites.
We have quite a large assortment of cheeses, from your sweeter cheeses, your cranberry
We have
cheese, which everybody loves.
We have smoked Gouda. We have the basic brie. Well, basic but very beautiful brie because I like brie. I wasn't a fan at first, but I'm like, you know what?
Brie goes with everything.
really
That's
good.
right.
You can enhance your brie with honey.
Yeah.
You can enhance it with your Marisha
I was
pepper
going to
jelly.
say, you taught us that trick, and I always do it now.
Yes, and you can sprinkle some nuts over it to make it look festive.
Yeah.
So yeah, and at our Oasis, we are based in Madisco. We want to create the mirage that you can actually touch, taste, and if you don't see it, we'll find it. We'll source
So-
it for you.
People can go
Absolutely.
into Madisco
Yes.
and be able to purchase and taste and sample and get your guidance, of course,
Absolutely.
in selecting their wines.
Absolutely. We have just received our shipment of Italian wines, so we're really excited. So, yeah.
Yeah, you were going to say something?
Yes, the same. We are, the Beverage Oasis is right inside the Madisco office.
Yeah.
And since I'd say we've had a very big change because Madisco is mostly into distribution.
Yeah.
Distribution direct to the consumer. And we have found out that sometimes it's best to change our approach. And that's why recently we have created along with the Beverage Oasis, we have created a retail section
Okay.
for our consumers, because there's nothing that can replace that feel, that touch, that actual comparative when you're buying your product.
Yeah.
And we also wanted to cater for those the people that don't want to buy a case. They just want to buy one out of the 6, one out of the dozen.
Yeah.
To, you know, just make their experience a lot easier, a lot better. They want to come in through the door.
Yeah.
That's the kind of feeling we want to give our consumers.
And even maybe just to test it out to see if I want to purchase in bulk as well.
Yes.
That's right. And we open 8 to 5. We
Okay.
don't close for lunch. And we open on Saturdays from 8 to 12.
And so we just walk on right in and we will
Walk
find
in,
the
we have
Oasis
parking.
appears.
Actually, it does.
Walk in and the Oasis is right there.
As you come into door, the first thing you see is the Oasis.
You better warn the
Yes.
security people who stumble to the door. I'm looking for
We
the
look forward
Oasis.
to it.
This is wonderful. And so this line is available where?
This line is available right now at the Oasis. It is available in some stores in Kikocker for right now. And I think there are a couple of stores in Cayo, but we will start now. Since we've just gotten it,
Yeah.
we are going to start marketing it. And it's the most logical thing to do. Madisco is the largest distributor. So we wanted to make it a one-stop purchasing depot.
Yeah.
So since they are into the hospitality side of things and the food side of things, so beverage just fell naturally into place.
Yeah.
So it's a one-stop.
So there's a Merlot, there's a white blend.
Yes.
And?
There's a
Cabernet
Merlot,
Sauvignon,
a Cabernet
the Cab,
Sauvignon.
okay, yeah.
Right.
The Carbonary.
And of course, because you do provide a lot for the hospitality industry, when people see it on the wine list, they know exactly where it's from
That's right.
and what they can expect after tuning in this morning.
Right. And remember, these are reserva lines, so
Yeah.
they are reserves.
Yeah.
They're not starter lines, they are reserve wines.
You said very early on that it's affordable. Talk to us about that.
Well, it falls under your wholesale would fall under your $25 price point, and with retail under your $30 price point.
Okay.
That's a good place
And they
to
will,
start.
and we have a lot of specials that are coming in for the beginning of the year. You know, you have less money in your pocket, so we make it affordable for you to still continue enjoying your new year. And we have a lot of promos coming up for Valentine's, so and
Yeah.
coming on to March. So we have a calendar filled.
Okay. And you just have to head on out to the Oasis at Madisco if you want to check out what they do have available. Once again, new to the market, a new line of wines as well as flavored water. Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you too.
And for letting us know what new you have available.
And for
And-
giving us some of your wine.
And
And keep on enjoying it.
some of your knowledge as well as some of your wine. And yeah, thank you very much. We're going to
Thank
go
you too.
ahead and take that final break now. When we come back, we'll have a wrap up, so stay tuned.
With over
And we're back.
Had another great show. As you know, this is always my favorite way to end a show.
Yeah.
Some good drinks, good food.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the show today. So we want to say thank you again to Madisco for coming and showing us some of their new products. Of course, we've got the new line of flavored water from Lasco, and also their new line of Espiritu de Chile lines, which is a line of wines from Chile.
Yeah.
They were kind enough to give us a sample of one of their new flavors. That was great, and thanks again to them for coming.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think it's also an opportunity for people to know where they can go and purchase, whether it is beverages or other retail items that they do distribute. You can head on over to Madisco to their Oasis and see what they have available there. We also want to say thank you to the representatives from Beltrade talking about the essentials for a startup. So here's the thing. If you've been sitting on an idea that you have wanted to pursue for so long, why not just explore the steps that it would take? There's a workshop this Thursday that will help with goal setting and vision boarding. And then there's also a Startup Essentials workshop that takes place later this month. So contact Beltrade or find them on their social media and get the full schedule of what's available. Some are for free, some do have a cost. And try to make the steps towards achieving the things that you've really wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah. And if it is that you do want to, or if you have embarked on a new business or something else new, you have a new Year's resolution, we also want to say thank you to Chamberlain Consulting, who came in to speak to us about how to stay motivated with your goals in 2020.
Yeah.
We know you've made your resolutions. You know, it's a start to a new year, it's a new beginning. A lot of people want to try some new stuff. So, you know, whether it's you have, you know, if you're nervous or you're anxious about starting something new, whether you have started and you want to stay motivated and you want, or, you know, even if you do slip up along the way, we want to thank you for giving, thank you to Chamberlain Consulting for giving us some really helpful tips on how to stay motivated while you are accomplishing your goals.
You see, and I think that's just the key thing. The year has started, and you're probably thinking of all the things that you want to accomplish for the new year, or maybe just making tiny changes in your life. And this morning's conversation was key in reminding us of a few things. One, that it takes work.
Yeah, for sure.
And two, we're not going to be perfect at it, so we have to be forgiving. And you also have to develop your own accountability plan. Who's going to help to keep you in focus, that is, and who's also going to keep you motivated when you don't have it for yourself. So we're so grateful to them for the tips to really get us started on the right foot for the new year.
For sure. And I also did want to bring up, Marlenis, that there was, this morning, there was a serious earthquake in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
It was a 6.5 or a 6.6 on the Richter scale, and we know so far it happened early this morning, so we're still getting some information.
Yeah.
But we do know that there has been a lot of damage on the island so far. Power has been out, and the rest part of that Caribbean, I believe, is still on an active tsunami warning. So we do want to send out our best wishes and prayers to those who have been affected by the earthquake.
Yeah.
We want to remind those who are in the immediate area and in Puerto Rico to keep safe. And of course, our thoughts and prayers are with our friends in the rest of the Caribbean.
Yeah, and I hope they're paying attention to the tsunami warning. That's so new for us. You know, when we had our scare here, people weren't sure what to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully they have paid attention to the warning there in the event that something happens. But so sad for Puerto Rico. Man, they have just been taking lick after lick. But our prayers are with them. We wish them the best, and we'll keep you updated.
Yep.
But of course, we got to wrap up the show. Remember, if you want to contact us, send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. Drop me a line at marlene_oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and on Instagram at OYEBelize. Remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you
Open your eyes
to start your morning right. Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.